Okay, so I just decided that I want to make another video about one of my favorite filters, which is Rift. And no, I'm not sponsored. I don't know who the developer is personally, but this developer has made a genius little plugin. And the funny thing is, I got it for free when it was still available for free. I think at the moment it's like 50 euro or something, but it's definitely worth it for the different filter types. And why is it worth it? Well, it is especially worth it if you have a Bitwig, a DAW like Bitwig or something, for the simple reason that you can extend synthesizers like the existing synthesizers here with third-party plugins by using the ADSR modulator or the AHDSR modulator, which uses MIDI input to modulate the parameters of any plugin that you throw at it. And that's how I just made the synthesizer have the typical low pass envelope. Because it sounded like this before using Rift. And now you could say, well, why didn't I just do that in the filter itself? First of all, because it looks weird, and I don't know if there is the possibility to do that. Here, I mean, there is a filter, but I already used the notch one, so I don't know if there is another filter in here or something. But maybe they just put only one filter in there because they know that people will just use another plugin after the synthesizer to get the same effect. So it was kind of pointless to add another filter in here. But also, this kind of gives you safety, because if you're using just any third-party plugin, then you can just use another filter afterwards to further shape it. I could also imagine using that with some of the Spitfire stuff, because they are also always very reverberant when you use them. Like, no matter which sound you choose, they are always like all over the place in terms of reverb, so you might want to add a filter on top of it. And yeah, I did that with this synthesizer as well, and then it sounded very nice and pokey. And then I added another instance of Rift to add another special resonance, but this time with the LFO. You see, it adds this little Foreman filter-ish resonance here when the LFO reaches its peak, and that plays together very well with the reverb that I added here, and you can even see that reflected in the gain reduction curve of the compressor. And so on. So that really makes a difference. Listen again without. Yeah, I really like that. So Rift is one of my favorite filters for that reason. Now let's actually do what I said before and take some Spitfire audio thing on not labs. Actually, let's use the BBC one that you can get for free by taking part in a survey or something, which is really cool because it has a bunch of high quality orchestral stuff. But the thing about Spitfire is always that they are very bad at just producing rough stuff. They just make very post-process stuff, or maybe that is just what they want to do. Let's take the xylophone for example, and oh yeah, let's layer the bass with it. Well, we have to put it some octaves higher. Now, of course, we could just go here and check if we can turn down the reverb, but turns out turning it to 0% is already this super reverberant sound. We can only turn it up. Which doesn't even sound like I added reverb. It sounds more like I added some weird micro delay thingy. Seriously, Spitfire, you are great at sound design, but your reverb is kind of useless because your sounds already have reverb, and turning it in is not kind of adding a lush reverb, but just a weird reverb. But this is just a subtle diss because, you know, Spitfire audio is awesome, which is also why I have this plugin. But still, now you can just take a filter and fix the things that have not been fixed in the actual audio source. Now you gotta be careful with this approach, of course. After all, it's still a filter and it sounds a bit noticeable. Now I'm in the need of some auto gain. So I need to make this a chain. And now I think I was told that I can now assign a macro or any modulator to the whole chain. Like I could say that mixer 0 is the start, and then let me do this, please. Oh yeah, it really works, nice. So turning it up completely is this. If we imagine that we are already a little bit further into the process of adding a lot of layers of stuff, I think it can really make sense to tidy up some of these elements by just applying filters with the MIDI envelope generator. And yeah, and Drift is a nice filter for that because it has a very quick way to respond to filter parameter changes, a little bit quicker than most of the other filters that I know. For example, Pro Q, you could forget about it, but yeah, that's really the big strength of this plugin, and I don't know if I have mentioned that in my first video already, because it was kind of a first impression thing, but now that the effect really sunk in, I was able to find out this little detail about it that really makes it special.